Secret of Europa, Part 4. Planet, Mars. Location, Siona Ridge Mountain Range. System, Sol. The outer districts of downtown Siona left a bitter taste in one's mouth. The air seemed slightly putrid, a direct result of the city's industrial center that was, for some reason, erected downwind from the towering mountain range. The people here walked with their heads down, their faces void of any emotion or happiness. Most walked in silence, alone, heading to wherever it was they worked to fulfill their unwanted tasks at their unwanted jobs before heading home to rest in an equally unfulfilling home life. Apollo, Tin, and Emo approached the church. It was their only guidance from Helen's directions. The building retained an old-world Earth-like Gothic architecture. The walls in stone, the spire looked magnificent against the ominous blue-red sky. And sure enough, adjacent to that building was the storage unit. A few businessmen briskly walked past, heading to the Siona Trade Building that loomed over the other two, much smaller buildings.
Well, I guess this must be it then.
Yeah, it looks like it. Especially as it says Mars High Storage Containers in big neon letters.
Emo grunted, which was presumably an attempt at laughter. Tin shrugged and nudged Apollo.
Yeah, all right, sunshine. You know what I mean. Come on, let's just get this done with, yeah?
But as they took a step forward, two more businessmen brushed past them on their way to the large trade building. Again, their heads down, faces void of emotion.
Oi, watch it, pal. Bloody hell. These pissing suits have less emotions than you, Emo.
Emo ignored the comment and continued to walk toward the storage unit, his head down, his face void of emotion.
Hey, you still got the code, Al?
Yep.
Apollo looked down at the blurred markings he had written on the palm of his hand.
Locker 8B, code is 1887. But I think we should...
He stuttered, distracted as he briefly looked up to see the faintest flash that suddenly lit the bluish-red sky above the church.
What the hell was that?
Said Tin, moments before his ears were assaulted by the shockwave that hit them all. As the Siona Trade Building exploded before their very eyes, the heat was instantly upon them, carried on the air as it rushed over their bodies. A cloud of dust and smoke covered the streets and filled the atmosphere around them, people rushing in every direction, their faces now filled with emotion, filled with terror, as they dropped their briefcases, dropped their unimportant files, and ran for their lives, some screaming, some on fire, most bloody. And between the slightest of gaps, they witnessed the flame-ridden building crumble and topple over, collapsing upon the storage unit, and leaving nothing but rubble in its wake. A second shockwave hit them as the building collapsed, but this time, the trio just stood there, shaking their heads in disbelief.
Unbelievable,
said Apollo, staring in disbelief at the completely unaffected church that stood gracefully amidst the dust as the distant sun's rays shone through the chaos around it.
Oh, pissing hell. What are we going to do now, Al?
Suddenly, a ship passed by overhead, flying low at moderate speed, and as it passed, it released its propaganda. The posters fell like rain and covered the already littered streets. Its message was the same as that heard coming from the ship's tannoy speaker system.
Cleansing has begun. Fear not. We will rid humanity of the red tape. The social and political protocols that keep us locked up in this archaic system. We will break down the walls our governments have erected. We will break through the closed mentality of the powers that be, and we will succeed in our mission. Behold a new chapter of the sublime order. Prepare for a true interspecies interstellar trade.
In the darkening hours that followed, the crew had helped as many as they could, their fingers cut and bloody from digging away at the rubble, rescuing whoever they could find, helping wherever it was needed, until the authorities arrived and it was time to slip away. Back at the ship, they sat quietly around a rather expensive bottle of Harmer Silver Sea Rum, their minds elsewhere, their spirits downtrodden. Tin uncrumpled one of the propaganda flyers that had fallen after the explosion. The deranged image of the Sublime Order's latest offspring stared back at him.
Look at this bloody guy. Who the hell does he think he is anyway? Bloody nutjobs.
Apollo sighed.
There's always going to be some crazy out there who thinks he's making an impact on the world.
Making a dent more like.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Reckons we need to start trading with the bloody Fargoids,
said Tin, reading through the printed text.
Don't you know there's a bloody war going on?
A moment of silence followed, and then, for some reason, a thought sparked in Tin's head. A flash of the ship's name, painted in chipped white across the side of the Phantom.
You know, Al, you never explained why your ship is called the Bunty.
Apollo sighed as he lifted his head.
Ah, well, it was meant to be the Bounty, but the guy buggered it up, didn't he? Left out a letter or misread it or something. Anyway, I kind of liked it, so I said he didn't have to do it again if he knocked the price down a bit, you know. And here we are.
Wait, you actually paid the man?
Yeah, of course I did. I mean, it may have been fake credits, but I never heard anything back from him, so I guess it worked, huh?
Emo shifted his weight, briefly eyeing first Apollo, then Tin, before taking another sip of his rum.
Yeah, you're right, Emo. We should be thinking about what to do next.
Yeah, sorry, Emo, old boy. Okay then, so what are we going to do next?
And after a brief moment of thought, Apollo said,
To hell with it. All we know is what we saw on the map. And the map said Titan.
Well, yeah, but that crazy old man said he didn't think it was Titan.
Like I said, it's all we've got. And we've got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, right. I guess so.
Look, mate, I feel bad, okay? I feel like I've let you all down. We had the sodding map in our hands before Quaid turned up. We should have been in and out like we always are. But things got...
Don't beat yourself up, Al. It's not your fault.
Yeah. All I know is if we don't succeed, then we're all very likely going to the nearest bloody megaship detention centre. And I'm in no rush to visit one of those again.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen, mate. Come on, let's get moving then. Titan it is, eh?
Apollo looked down and fingered his necklace. The pendant shimmered in the light. When he had taken it from Killian, it was the wrong way up. And now that it was hanging from his neck, the inscriptions suddenly became clear. He knew these symbols. Killian had taught him a long time ago, and he realized that they depicted water. That much was obvious, and the green ball next to it surely signified a planet that Killian had presumed was Titan due to the green hue of its atmosphere. But green along with blue, and especially mixed together, are universally associated with water, a planet full of water, although the wording, once translated, left a further mystery to be solved. But suddenly, it all seemed clear. Beneath the scars the bubble lies, beware to pierce with those 3 eyes. Apollo looked up and grabbed Emo's arms with thrilling excitement running through his veins.
Killian was right. It's not Titan. Why would it be Titan? It's Europa.
Oh, well, I'll be. How the hell did you figure that out?
The pendant. I've been looking at it for some time and, well, it makes sense. This is an ancient time we're talking about, right? Only the Sol system would have been traversable back then. A ball of water. Well, yeah, there's a few that we know of now, but back then there was one famous one. Europa. And what is Europa covered with? The ice. It's full of cracks, scars, and beneath those scars, beneath that layer of ice, is a whole ball of water. I mean, where else would a bloody sea god be?
Right. Okay then.
It also says something about a bubble and 3 eyes, but I guess we'll figure that out on the way, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Sure. That seems reasonable.
Tin's sarcasm forced a frown upon his forehead as he stared at Emo for help. But before any further conversation could take place, Apollo was already running back to the controls.
Let's go!
Right then. I guess we're off again, eh, Emo? Come on, old pal. Let's join our crazy captain.
Hal Selvin stood in disbelief as he stared at the sheer volume of chaos before him. A brief thought crossed his mind that this was either directly or indirectly related to the men he was pursuing. But that thought was quickly put to bed For Apollo and his crew were good men. Sure, they were black market traders, in for a quick credit, and held no regard for the rules or laws of whatever backwater they were currently gracing with their presence. But they would never knowingly cause harm upon innocents, and they would certainly not wish this level of violence and destruction upon anyone. No, this was something else, something far more sinister, and his suspicions were confirmed as he walked through the dusty air towards the rubble and examined the area. The flies blew past him, some on fire. The eyes of the maniac printed upon them seemed to follow his moves. Suddenly a cry forced its way through the noise in his brain, demanding urgent attention. He looked over to a nearby pile of rubble. The bricks seemed to be moving. Hal rushed over to the source of the crying and fell to his knees.
It's okay, I'm here,
he called, as he began delving through the pile of loose stone and brick. A hand appeared, then an arm. The crying continued, louder now. A nearby firefighter had noticed his efforts and rushed to join him. Eventually, they managed to pull the remaining debris away from the battered and broken man that lay beneath. The firefighter called out.
Can I get a medic over here, Stat?
And almost immediately, Hal was pushed away as the medics arrived to attend to the wounded man. Hal stood, dazed again, sweat pouring from his brow. He uttered to himself, "How the hell can anyone deliver such evil?" And to his surprise, someone answered.
The problem is not that there is evil in the galaxy. The problem is that there is good. Because otherwise, who would care?
Hal turned to see the officer standing next to him. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
No, I imagine so. You were quite busy over there, it seems.
Why, who? Said Hal, despite knowing the answers.
The why is all around you. It's certainly gathered some attention. And the who is littered over every street in this district.
Stupid bastards. Still, I'm surprised by this level of destruction. Maybe it wasn't meant to be like this.
Yeah, things of consequence rarely happen by accident.
Hal briefly studied the man next to him and wondered just how official this officer was. You didn't happen to notice?
Yeah, when we arrived, there were 3 men. Not your normal sorts. Looked rougher, these ones. Larger. Traders, if you know what I mean.
Hal's frown deepened with intrigue. I do. System, Sol. Location, shipping lane. Distance to Europa, 1800 light seconds. The glistening, azure blue crate phantom, known as the Bunty, pierced its way through the blurry tunnel of hyperspace before being ejected into the blinding face of the sun. And after a short U-turn, it continued its journey in supercruise. Apollo fiddled with the nav panel and set the auto assist on Europa before joyfully swiveling around in his chair.
Come on, Tin. What's up now?
Oh, well, I was just thinking, yeah? Can't this ship go any faster by now? I thought you sorted that all out.
Yeah, I said I will sort it out. Eventually. Took us long enough to save up for these sodding 6A thrusters, didn't it?
Emo grunted.
Yeah, exactly, Emo. And we certainly don't have the resources for any engineering, do we? We need to dedicate some time to grinding those materials. Then we can put some drag drives on those babies.
Can't be far off, surely.
Yeah.
What is it we need anyway?
Well, firstly we need to pick up a few more mechanical components. Then we need to grind for a shit ton of chromium. And then we can visit moody old Felicity Farsia over in the Deciat system. And that's only for grade 3. If you want 5, then we'll have to go visit Mel up in bloody Colonia.
No way, sunshine. We're not doing that pissing journey again.
Suddenly, the ship jolted and vibrated violently as an alert message sounded. Apollo turned back to the controls, his heart pounding in his chest.
Shit, we're being interdicted.
Oh no, what the hell? Can you lose
I
them?
can't pull her around fast enough. Damn, this guy's good.
Another violent shudder rocked the ship's foundations as they were thrust out of supercruise, the view in front of them spinning with dizzying velocity. Another message came through, this one far more worrying.
They're locked on.
Oh, shit! Brace for impact, Emo!
said Tin, but nothing happened. Instead, a direct comms link lit up the panel. The voice that came through was instantly recognized.
Hello again, boys. Looks like I got the better of you once again.
Apollo did not answer. He simply shook his head as he glanced back toward Tin and Emo. Quaid continued.
Sounds like you're a bit sore about it all, eh? Well, not to worry. Listen, unless you want me to blow your stupidly named ship away right now, you'll be good little boys and then come aboard here. Wonderful. I'll see you in a bit,
said Quaid, ending the direct comms link with his final word. Tin grabbed hold of his chair with such fury that the fabric threatened to rip apart beneath him. Apollo's head shook with anger as he released the name of his nemesis.
Quaid!
And Emo grunted.